Well, if you're like me and have been looking forward to Epic Universe, it's been a nice little week here as we got not only an opening date, which is May 22nd, but we also had the news that the tickets for Epic Universe would go on sale on October 22nd, which was yesterday. Not only that, but you could book stays at Helios Grand Hotel as well. I was very curious as to really how aggressive Universal was going to be with their pricing. And since we now have pricing for Epic Universe tickets, Helios Grand Hotel, and more, I figure in real time here, let's go through and check out the availability, the pricing of various packages, and how that compares to Disney, because I'm pretty pleasantly surprised at the pricing that Universal has unveiled with this. So I figured let's go through this and check it out and give some thoughts on it. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic, and we'll start here at Universal. So when you get to this page here, this is where you can book the tickets. And if you don't know, for access to Epic Universe as of right now, you have to book it within at least a 3-day ticket package, but there will soon be single-day options available. So tomorrow on the 24th, annual pass holders are able to buy single-day tickets. And I'm guessing shortly after that, maybe within a couple of weeks, if not sooner, we'll probably see single-day tickets go on sale for the general public as well. But they're just giving priority to people that are going to, stay for multiple nights, come on property, spend multiple days in the parks. And I do understand the thinking behind that on Universal's end. But we can get an idea here of ticket pricing. So what we're going to do is we'll do 3-day, and you can do, multiple. You can do 4 parks, which includes the water park, or just the 3, I say actual theme parks, the 3 parks that are not a water park. So we're looking at this of 1 park per day, and a 3-day ticket package at 3 parks. That breaks down to $117 per day for adults and $114 per day for children. If we change that to a park hopper, we could do the same one, the 3-park package there. It goes to $137 per day and $134 for children. Now we change this to from 3 days to 4 days. And we do 1 park per day. That drops it down to $92.75 per day per adult. And then for children, it's $90.25 there. And if we go to a park hopper, that takes it up to $109 per person and $106 for children. And if we change this to a 5-day package, and mind you, all of these include 1 day at Epic Universe, so just do keep that in mind. But I do believe you'll be able to add on a single-day ticket, not in the too distant future. So you have to, only have 1 day at Epic Universe in these packages, but you will be able to add on a single-day ticket on top of that. But so we go 5-day, 1 park per day, breaks down to $78.40 per person. And for children, that's $76.40 per child. And then we just go to park hopper. It's $92 per person and $90 for children. So obviously you're seeing a lot of discount when you're booking on a longer timetable there. And so you're seeing, under $100 per day if you're willing to go, some of the packages. But where I think this puts it into perspective as well, because again, you have a brand new theme park with Universal Studios. Let's just say we're going to book a 3-day package, and let's just go ahead and do park hopper, and we're going to do 2 adults and 2 children. And then it looks like as of right now, opening day is still available. So we booked that. That's going to be a little bit over $2,100 for the tickets to go to Universal Studios, including Epic Universe. But let's hop over to Disney and compare this directly with what they would be offering on the same day. So we come over here and we're going to do 3 days, and we're going to go May 22nd, 2025. That's $163 plus per day. And we're going to do park hopper option, 2 adults, 2 children. That's going to break down to $2,400, a little bit over $2,400. So then again, we compare that to Universal with a brand new theme park. You're a little bit over $2,100. So right there, you're already seeing a savings. Pretty pleasantly surprised when it comes to the pricing there. Now let's change this and say, let's go, and I think this is where you see the big savings with the Universal. Let's go 5 days. At Disney, same date. And we're going to do park hopper, 2 adults, 2 children. That's going to come to over $3,300. So let's go over here to Universal, and let's just change this up where we're going to do 5 days, park hopper. Let's do 2 and 2, 22nd. It's not quite $2,300. I mean, so compared to Disney on the same thing, a 5-day ticket package with Park Hopper, Disney is $3,322. So that is over a savings of $1,000 just on tickets there. And well, yes, I know some people are going to point out, Universal doesn't have as many parks as Disney does. But now you're talking about a different scenario with Universal, as instead of just 2 parks, they have 3, have a highly anticipated in-demand new park in Epic Universe opening up. But let's say, okay, let's even it up here. And let's say we'll keep Disney's the same here. But let's say we'll do the one that includes Volcano Bay here, because that technically, they call it a theme park. It's a water park. And some people get really annoyed when, I'll say that it's a water park, not a theme park. It's a very well-themed water park, but if you want to call it a theme park, I don't really care. I'm not going to get upset or anything. I just sometimes point that out because some people, when Universal says they have 4 parks, they get a little confused because technically Disney could say that they have 6 parks. But let's just, try and even this out here. Let's include Volcano Bay in this. We'll keep the same dates, and we're looking at $2,500 roughly for Universal. And yet again, very similar package to Disney. You're talking $3,322. So you're still seeing a ton of savings on just tickets alone when it comes to Universal. But I'm happy to see that they're not being ultra aggressive with their pricing, because I think they may be looking at Disney right now and seeing them continually with the price hikes. They're getting a lot of negative press about it, and a lot of people that have been going to Disney for a very long time. There's tons of people on this channel that listen to our podcast, and I've seen all over the place that have talked about they're basically done with the price hikes with Disney. That so many things have changed within 5 years of Disney since COVID, and a lot of people are just tapped out when it comes to Disney. I'm really happy to see Universal is not trying to, in the short term, take advantage of the leverage and demand they have with Epic Universe and really just try and go top dollar and matching Disney on pricing. I think what they're looking at here is more of a long game and thinking about the value of, there's a lot of people that haven't been to Universal, so they're curious about Epic Universe. They'd like to go, but if they price it too high, it's going to be a barrier to entry for a lot of people. So I think pricing it this way automatically gets people to look over here and say, well, we could go 5-day ticket here. We could save over $1,000 going to Universal. That's interesting. And it has a brand new theme park. That's the part that's kind of wild here. But not only on the park side are you going to save some money potentially, we start looking at the hotel side. So Helios Grand Hotel, you can now book as that's opening with Epic Universe. This is the in-park hotel. And I will tell you, we did get an opening day reservation at a much better rate than I thought it was going to be. I had assumed this hotel was going to be $600, $700 plus. We were able to book at around $400 and change in terms of the opening. And again, that's opening day of Epic Universe on a theme park view. I mean, I never thought, honestly, in 1,000 years, that's what that price would be. So I was very pleasantly surprised to be able to do that. So we'll be reviewing that and talking about it on this channel when the park opens, and when Helios opens as well. And currently the availability, the earliest I could see of availability for Helios was June 8th of 2025, as everything else is booked out on that. So if you're looking to book at Helios, you can start looking around June 8th, but availability will probably continue to go. But we start looking at the prices here. You're talking, again, a brand new in-park hotel starting at $428. Obviously, some of these go way up. You start talking about the suites, the How to Train Your Dragon suites, $856. The Celestial Suite is a little bit over $1,000 a night. The Presidential Suite is going to run you $2,300 a night. So obviously, there's different levels of pricing, but having a brand new in-park hotel that looks to be fantastic in terms of the theming, looks very nice at $428 per night is actually very reasonable. And if we look over at Disney, let's just say we wanting to stay at a same level of place here. So we're going to go Deluxe Resort, and we start looking at these, all of them, Grand Floridian, $860 a night, Yacht Club, $700, Disney's Beach Club, almost $700, Contemporary, $647, Animal Kingdom Lodge, $572. So the cheapest one you're going to find is $572 when it comes to Animal Kingdom, which is over $100 more than staying at Helios, which again is an in-park hotel. You're talking the closest thing to an in-park hotel at Disney World is the Contemporary, and that's going to run you about $650 per night. So you can see the price difference there alone when you start talking about the premier resorts. And then you start looking at the values. We have Endless Summer Dockside Inn, which is one of our favorite hotels, is Dockside. You can stay on, and it's the same dates on May 22nd, 2025. You have rooms starting at $160 per night, the 2-bedroom suite, which is actually a 1-bedroom. So it's the main area that's like a suite and then has an extra room, but they call it a 2-bedroom. You can get that at $222. I would argue, where are you going to find a 1-bedroom suite at Disney for under $400? Even that, I don't even know what it would be there. And that's Dockside Surfside, which is not far away from Epic Universe. It's right in the middle, basically, between Epic Universe and the current Universal Studios Orlando. But let's look over here and let's go back to looking at the other hotels they have here. And let's just go look at one of the brand new hotels along with Helios that's opening up outside Epic Universe. Let's do Stella Nova. You're looking at that starting at $244 per night, which is, again, this is like a value plus category is what it's kind of labeled as. Starting at $210 per night on opening day of Epic Universe. And now they don't have any 1-bedrooms here or 2-bedrooms, whatever they call it there, but it starts at $210, goes up to $226. And again, this is within walking distance of Epic Universe and is a brand new hotel. We look over at Disney and their values. Pop Century's $247. All-Star Movies, which the All-Star Resorts are your most basic of value hotels you're going to find at Disney, starts at $200 per night. So basically, the cheapest you're going to find at Disney in the same category is $200 for a very base level hotel that is not near any of the resorts. The nicer one, I would say, out of all these being Art of Animation, is $300. And then again, you start looking at the Universal end of things. You can stay at a hotel within walking distance of a brand new theme park for around $200 per night. That's not too bad. So again, a lot of people who may be curious about going to Universal are going to start looking at these prices, and it's not hard to see where you start seeing the value. And so if you're, let's say you want to go for a week, you got the 5-day ticket package, you can save $1,000 compared to Disney. Then you start looking at the hotels. And so wherever you're looking compared to Universal and Disney, you're not only are going to see things, you got Super Nintendo World, you got this brand new theme park that people are really looking forward to. You also have savings on top of it. I think it's actually a very smart move and basically not do what Disney's been doing in terms of trying to just charge as much as you possibly could, because you probably could make the argument Universal could. They have a lot of demand for Epic Universe. They could get away with charging a lot more for it. But given that they're still wanting to look into, eating into market share, taking on Disney, I think this is a very solid approach. And we've seen it from Universal on the hotel side. They've said years ago that they were willing to take what they called a hit on the hotels for, 7+ years in terms of pricing them lower than, say, like Disney. And it has been a good strategy for them because a lot of people have stayed over Universal for that reason. And personally, I like Universal's values and moderates better than Disney. And when it comes to their premier resorts, they're pretty close to Disney's. There's some aspects I think Disney still does pretty well. But again, most of the premiers that you stay at Universal, you also get Express Pass. And so let's say that you were looking at Universal. Now, funny enough, Helios doesn't have Express Pass as of right now, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is an in-park hotel at Epic, so maybe they figured that's a big enough perk. But like Royal Pacific here, if you stay here, you're going to get Express Pass, which is the day you check in and the day you check out at the existing parks. I don't believe, at least as of right now, Epic Universe is not going to have Express Pass, or at least they haven't said anything about it, so I'm going to assume they won't until they say otherwise. But if you're looking at Royal Pacific, $477 per night to stay here to also get Express Pass, which is not much more expensive than Helios Grand Hotel. So you're already looking at the savings you can get here where you go to Disney. Not only are you going to pay $1,000 more for the ticket packages, you're also going to have to, if you want to do multi-pass and single pass and the lightning lanes and all that stuff like that, that's going to be an extra expense depending on the size of your family. Could be, a couple of $100, could be $1,000. It just really depends on how you do it. If you get Premier Pass, that could be even more. But if you go over here to Universal, you stay at Royal Pacific, so you're saving $1,000 on tickets, and then you also are staying here for $477 a night, plus you get Express Pass. You really start looking at the savings and value that Universal is going after. And yes, none of this is cheap. I'm not saying that it is, but in comparison to Disney in terms of the value add and the value play I think Universal is going for, I think all of this is a very smart move in terms of eating into market share, having people look at you, willing to come over to try out your resorts, try out your theme parks, and just really give them a shot. Because there's a lot of people that are going to be interested in Epic Universe because it's got Nintendo. It's a brand new park. We haven't seen a brand new theme park open up in Orlando in over 20 years. And so it has a lot of attention, but there's still some people, a little bit of a hurdle. Maybe they're Disney people that just, I don't know, I've never been to Universal, or they went a long time ago. And Universal has changed quite a bit in the last 10 years, especially since Comcast has bought them. So having these lower prices and really showing the value in the things that you get is a great way to get people to take a chance. Maybe they just go for a day or two, but either way they get over there and then they think, oh, this is actually really nice. I like the way they do this here. I like how they do this in the park. And it's not hard to see a lot of people willing to give Universal a chance. In terms of the battle between Disney World and Universal Studios, I felt like all along, and I think this is a continuation of that, the Universal's playing the long game, and Disney for the last few years have been playing a short-term game of they decided to basically harvest all their profits right now by introducing Genie Pass, charging for things they didn't used to charge for, taking away things that used to be free. And yes, they've made a lot of money in the short term because they've had a lot of demand, but I think in the long run, they've done a lot of damage to the brand. I think they've turned off a lot of people who have been people that go to Disney World consistently over the years. And now those people are looking elsewhere, and not only Universal, but other vacation options. I think Universal is just playing a really smart long game here and seeing what Disney's doing and being like, we're not going to do that. And this doesn't even get into ticket packages that Universal may offer. And to be fair, Disney will probably offer massive discounts, going into 2025 as well to compete with Epic Universe. So those prices very much can change depending on a vacation package that you do get. But just the base level pricing here of comparing them, it's really easy to see where the value is going to lie and really what you're going to get for your vacation dollar. I think that's a smart move. And I think as this continues to heat up between Disney and Universal, I'll be really interested to see how Disney reacts to this. Because again, they're not going to have anything in terms of attractions to really offer to combat people going to Epic Universe. I think they're assuming that they're going to get a bump from Epic Universe, but it's a different scenario than it used to be. And I'm not saying they won't, but I could see a scenario where they don't, because Universal is really trying to get people to come over there and stay for 3, 4, 5 nights versus what most people used to do with Universal, which is go to Disney, throw on a day or two at Universal, and then go home or something along those lines, or vice versa. Universal is trying to switch that to either they stay only at Universal or they stay majority at Universal and add on a few days at Disney. And if that is the case, if that ends up happening, Disney is going to feel that. And really the only thing Disney is going to be able to do to combat this is, they have shows and parades, which they're having in the parks, which I'm not saying is a bad thing, but I don't think that's going to sway anybody from Universal or Epic Universe just to check out some shows and parades. So I think they're going to probably start offering some massive discounts. Are they going to offer $1,000 worth of discounts to really compete on that price point? They could if they do feel the heat to do that. I'm going to be watching this situation very closely to see how Disney reacts to it. But all in all, I've been very pleasantly surprised at Universal's pricing here. I think it's very smart, and I think it's a great way to launch Epic Universe into this new era of Universal. In my opinion, if you want to call it the theme park wars, they're just now really getting started with Epic Universe opening, and what I think Universal will continue to do in their parks. We'll have to see what, when Disney's things that they announce get completed and done and how that affects crowd levels. But I think all in all, it's a very exciting time in the theme park realm. But either way, that's going to do it though for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about the pricing options for Epic Universe and Helios Grand Hotel? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.